Yeah, what a fun game that was. That's an incredible team, and we just really dialed in. It started with a phone call I got earlier this morning stating that, we're a team that could be in a top 20 team, and if we just believe it. And I'm like, what's this all about? And then we got in the middle of the dogfight, and I had to tell one of our players, like, yo, we're just as good as the next person, And let's go out there and learn lessons. It's the first game of ACC. Doesn't matter. Let that thing fly, and it ended up working in our favor. So sometimes good advice comes in weird times, and I'm so grateful that this young group here is just playing at a different level. And can't say enough about the 3 people that sit next to me, but this whole entire team. Only 7 people played, but I tell you what, everybody was in it, from Izza, who hadn't played in the last 5 games, the way she was talking to our bigs. You got Dom talking to our guards, and she got a blown knee. It's just remarkable to be around young people who really don't really care who gets the credit. They give the glory to something bigger than ourselves, and they share it with their sisters.
We'll take questions from the student athletes now. Raise your hand, Paul.
Deasia, you've had so many games in your college career. Where does a win like this rank against all those other games?
I wouldn't put them, above anyone else, but they're a great team. We just take one game at a time, and we don't try to look at the name on the chest.
So, Deasia, you were 1 for 8 from the three-point line going into into the fourth quarter, and you made 3 in a row. What was how were you able to sort of summon a mindset to just be able to erase the misses and just focus on the shot and make them?
With the belief that the staff and my teammates have in me, and the confidence that I have with their help, they just told me don't stop shooting, and I also told myself that there were a couple shots that I was hesitant on, and that's the reason that they didn't go in. And when I stopped hesitating and realized that we're as good as them and we belong where they are, that's where it all came from.
You guys got 5 days off after that last game, kind of had a Christmas break, and now you're back. What was that like for you guys to have a break and be able to, maybe reset a little bit and then come back and be able to play the way that you all did against that team?
It was good, take the time to go see your families for Christmas and really just regroup and think about our last season, because it's a new season, this conference play. So really just staying focused and regrouping and get it back ready for the next season so we can be able to show who Syracuse women's basketball is.
Alyssa, when you got that 4th foul and came back into the game, what was your mindset like playing defense? Because you still came up with a big block. Were you thinking about it, or was it just 100%?
No, it was just learning from playing in our conference, really just how to play with 4 fouls and what should I do. So really just working on that timing, like it was there. I know a couple times I might have went too early or went too late, but it's really just staying poised and staying smart and just working on my timing with those.
Yeah, listen, I'm going on that again. Your team out-rebounded Notre Dame, a team that had been leading the ACC in rebounding margins by quite a bit. And it's a big group of girls at Notre Dame. And how were you guys able to sort of get in there and have your way on the boards?
Just crashing. It don't matter it don't matter if you're 7'5", 5'2". It don't matter. We're gonna go play hard. We're gonna fight for the ball on the floor. We're gonna go all the way to the other baseline to go get the ball. So whatever it is that we have to do for our team is what we're gonna do.
Alyssa, being a freshman, coming in, what is it like kind of getting adjusted to this level of play?
I'm ready. Yes. Yeah, I'm ready.
Kennedy, this was kind of one of your biggest workloads of the season. Did you feel any more pressure being out there down the stretch, or was it the same as always?
It was pretty much the same as always. I saw what my teammates were doing the first 5 minutes. We came out with intensity, gave them a good 1-2 punch, but when my number was called, I knew I had to continue the intensity, and that's what I did throughout the game.
Yeah, Deasia, it was a pretty crazy first half. There was 29 turnovers between both of those teams, just lots of up and down, balls being poked away, and sort of how were you able to sort of hang in there as a team and sort of stay focused on the task at hand?
We just try to have amnesia, as Coach would say, when things don't go our way or when we make a mistake, and realize that there's a lot of game left, no matter if it's 5 minutes or 2 minutes. There's a lot of game left, and there's time to change the hat and fix it.
Deja, you and Hannah Hidalgo, you were exchanging buckets all night long. What was that matchup like for you today?
She's a great player. She's going to be really good in this league, and it was fun to watch her and fun to compete against her, and it was just fun. I mean, we had to match the intensity once we realized what we were, dealing with. But going against her, it was fun.
More questions? We're also moving on.
Kennedy, you were a spark plug in the Cornell game a couple games ago. Would you say that you relied on that performance to help you, and how much you benefited your team today?
I would say that game was a good push for me, but I try to go out to every game with the same intensity, same purpose of getting the win and helping my teammates out in whatever I could do.
So, Deja, I'm curious about, you guys all seem very composed right now, but that's a pretty big win, here at your home court. You lost one game this year. What was the excitement like, or what was the feeling like in the locker room, and how are you all feeling at this point?
We try to, stay together and not go too high or not too low, no matter what the situation is. And it was just a great way to, end the year and against a great team. So, I mean, the feeling was good, but at the end of it all, the season's not over, and we still have work to do.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach Jack?
Going off of Diego's last answer, just trying not to be too high or too low, how have you taught the team to just kind of stay composed no matter if you're doing well or doing poorly?
I just think it's our responsibility as coaches and is to grow these young people to understand that what their value is. And if we go too high, it's almost like you don't think that you deserve it. You get too low, you think that you were better than yourself. That humility and that expectation goes hand in hand. And I just believe it's my responsibility to let them really celebrate, and because that was a big-time team win, but also understand that we got North Carolina next, and fun things are going to happen in practice, and we have to get better and ready for them. And I just think it's my responsibility to keep them level-headed.
Coach, for the first time since January 2019, the program has an 8-game winning streak. Obviously, you arrived just last year. What does a win like this mean to the program?
Right now, it's going to probably mean a lot at the end of the season, but it means that we just won a game, and we had to come back. We had to fight differently. They went down on the ground with the ball, and we went down with them, and I saw us get better. We're going to win, and we're going to learn, and right now, it just means that we beat a great team. I don't really care about the rankings. I don't care about, all that other stuff yet, because we're too busy tending to the sheep, figuring out how to continue to grow these young people, continue to be celebratory on the fact that 3 of my kids got a 4.0 this semester, and our GPA is arguably probably going to be around a 3.2, and everybody succeeded and they gave the best effort academically. So we're going to celebrate those things, and for the now moment, and at the end of the season, my hope is that we're in postseason and we can look back after the season and say we did something special.
I imagine, though, that you were pretty pleased with how your team won today. It was a very gritty, very tough, you guys hung in there today. And could you just discuss sort of the way you won this game, how you won it?
We won differently than we've had one before, and we had to shorten the bench a little bit. They had some players that were not on the court, and we had players that couldn't play as well. But the 7 that went out there, the song that she got the hard hat of the game, and she was able to speak as a freshman, and her song she sang was "Who Let the Dogs Out," and that was a question I had for them, like, that was something that was inside y'all the whole time. I could have been a little bit tougher in practice. I just think about a team like Notre Dame. They're not going to give you anything. We've earned every single minute. We were up by a few, down by a couple, and we had to win differently, and we had to stay composed. We only had 3 bigs that could play, and we were undersized in every single position and in the big spot, and we chest up, and we womaned up. And that's why I don't let nobody call my players girls, because girls can't play that kind of game out there. Those young ladies, those women, they showed up, and they were really responsive to the cause.
You spoke a little about composure. It was kind of a crazy, erratic, lots of turnover kind of game. But then you brought Kennedy in. And did you bring her in specifically to sort of settle your team down a little bit?
No, we brought her in to take D off the point. So DeAsia can kind of see the rim differently because you got somebody that can score 100 points a game, but can't because, you know, they're number 3. I'm not going to say her name because she's so damn good. I don't want to like her too much. But, you know, she's so handsy. And so we had to figure out, like, what's she doing to somebody when she's guarding them? And so when DeAsia was able to get off that point and see the game from without the ball in her hand, we put the ball back in her hand, she did what she can do. So as a coaching decision to just bring her in, and not necessarily settle because you got DeAsia out there with Lena and Georgia. We wanted it fast. We wanted it a little bit crazy. But she came out there to do her part, but we needed DeAsia off the ball.
What inspired you to take the microphone after the game and talk to the community?
This was a great crowd. The crowd was so into it, and it sounded like 10,000 people in there. And every time I feel like it's important that somebody needs to be recognized, I do that. And I thought that the crowd really needed to understand they were the 6th person for our team, and they didn't even leave. After I finished talking, I went to they stayed. We're building this thing here. We're building a crowd base for women's basketball, and it's beautiful, and it's going to start with the foundation, I believe, that we had today. And I'm so humbled by this community. I'm so grateful that I was born in this city, and I just know that we're going to bring something special here, and we're not going to stop until we do.
So you win this game. Say some fans here in Syracuse, they haven't been to a game yet this year, but they see that upset win for you guys. What would be your pitch to try to have them come out to the JV Dome?
You know, we don't beg people to come, but when you do come, you're going to see what that's who we are. You want to have fun. You want to come out and for 3 hours and really enjoy being in your own skin. The women's basketball game is what you might need to watch. We have some fun players. We got do some fun. You got to appreciate the game under the rim. We don't have the dunkers yet, but we got people coming that can possibly dunk. We play the game differently. It's a different game from men's basketball, and we have to appreciate it for what it is. We want you to come, but we're not going to beg you to come because we don't care who we play in front of. We went out to Virginia Tech, and we played against Virginia Tech, and that crowd got behind us because we were such a fun team to watch. I believe Syracuse is a community that can really become like the nation's best fan if we get out of our house and come out and enjoy the men's game, the football team, and of course the women's basketball team. We're not going to stop. If you show up, you're going to enjoy yourself. If you don't show up, we're going to continue to work hard to one day you might come. Thank you so much, Ryan, and Happy New Year to everyone. God bless you all.